Okay, everybody, so everybody's housed, situated. I think everybody's where I want them to be. This one here is the Homoioma species blue, or some people are saying the Thrixopelma lagunis, or some people are saying the Thrixopelma cyaneolaneum. I don't know. So it's a Homoioma species blue to me until someone shows me definitively otherwise. I've been picking some people's brains about it to figure it out, but again, I'm not going to feed any of the little ones for now. Anyway, I'm going to give them a day or two. The two Brachypelmas I don't think are going to eat. This one is iffy. I still think we're a little shiny back there, so I think we're going to leave this one to do its thing. Just pretty basic Matchbox container, Matchbox car container, I should say, with a little plant. We'll get a water dish in there once he settles, or it settles. So that's that one. Don't mind my fingers. This one here, you can see the spiders right there. Again, pretty basic. Just threw some leaf litter in. This is the Lasiodora kalugi. So that's that one, and the last one. The last one in the Matchbox container, and this is the one I'm not sure I'm going to keep in here. You could see in the corner that shiny little booty. This is the Brachypelma auratum. We're going to see how it goes over the course of the next day or so. But yeah, that's the three that I put in the Matchbox containers. Now, the last one seemed to be a tad bit smaller than the rest. This is the actually most active one out of all of them. And it's like already buried itself. It's in here somewhere. You can see in the corner right here. That looks like where it buried itself. So this is the Lasiodora. Or yeah, God Almighty, what's with Lasiodora? This is the Brachypelma Kallenbergi. So the enclosures are pretty basic, run-of-the-mill. Not much to them. Some dirt, some plants, some leaves, really. That's all for now. No water dishes yet. But I'd really like to at least see this dude. Okay, well, it's there. I mean, it's right there. So I will show you the Pamphobedius species next. First things first, what I put them in was completely different than what I was going to. I didn't move the LP or the Grammostola pulchripes out of those systemas yet, but I did have these two enclosures ready. This is the old enclosure for the Pteronochelys caudatus that passed away, and this was a newer one, not used yet. So I decided to use those, and it's probably perfect. It looks perfect for the spiders for a molt or two at least. So we'll see how it goes with them in here. This one, I'll move you guys down. You can see inside the cork bark there is the male. And we're going to try and feed them a waxworm. We're going to see if they're interested in eating at all. I'm hoping they are, because they are thin. And the information I got from another keeper, a very, very well-respected keeper, he sent me the paper, and it's pretty much logical that once the revision for the Pamphobeteus happens, these are no longer going to be Pamphobeteus. It looks like they're going to be reclassified and moved to the genus Megaphoboma. So they will be in with the Mesomycelius and the Megaphoboma robustum, which makes sense because they are a slender species and their body structure seems to fit those a little bit better than it does a Pamphobeteus. They're not a bulky spider. They're a little bit more spindly, longer legs, thinner abdomens. So we'll see when that all takes place. It could be years. You know, we have no idea when it's actually going to happen. But so for now, they're going to be the Pamphobeteus CF pedersi until any kind of revision is done and changed. And it doesn't look like he is interested in partaking in a meal at this point. I'll zoom you guys in here. You're better at that angle, weren't you? Yeah, so he's not even really turning. You can see his little bald spot there on the right. So he's not really, seems to be interested in the waxworm at all. So I'm not going to overly stress him out, so I will take this out and we'll try feeding that onto the female. So that's the male. Now let me get the female and try and feed her. Now in typical spider fashion, what I did with this enclosure is I put sphagnum moss up on top here, as you can see all the way around. We have this curved, hollowed piece of bark that the spider could go in and burrow, and look where it's at. So probably not going to try feeding it. We're going to let it settle. I just wanted to show you guys the enclosure setups. So I'll take the lid off and you can get a closer view of how it looks inside. We'll turn it. So I was figuring that the spider would come in here and then be able to burrow out a little bit and then hide here, and it chose to go in the corner. So I'm not a huge fan of this moss, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that in there or not. Sometimes it seems to me like it clouds up the enclosure and you just, I don't know. But she's right there, so I'm not going to move anything now. We'll see how she does over the course of the next day or so. So I'm going to show you guys, update the other two that I rehoused the other day, and then we'll kick the video and get it uploaded for you. Okay, so there is the Semmelpaeus reduncus, one of the females that we rehoused the other day into the Glad tall container. Made its home in the cork bark for now, so that's what we wanted. We're going to get some small ground plants to put in here and around the sides here, just something small, not real plants but silk plants, stuff that I have laying around. We'll get some stuff in there, and then hopefully we'll be able to see this one out a little bit. So that's that. And here is the Phaunopelma seemanni. I did some legwork, a little bit of research, and what I found is that, of course, the Phaunopelmas in the Central Americans, the Central American Phaunopelma and any of the South American Phaunopelma will be reclassified soon. The first step was the North American, or basically the ones from the United States. So if you look, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, right there, there's that little line that goes straight down. Okay, on Aphonopelma seemanni, that's what the line looks like. It's a straight line, and you can see on this leg a little bit more prominent. See the two lines right there on that leg right there, and then on the tarsa is that little white line right there. On the Guatemalan, which people are calling the blue color form, which is not what we want to call them. It's not bright. They're bluer, but they're not a color form. They may be a locale morph, or maybe morph isn't even really a good word. Just a different locale, and they're actually believing, what I'm reading is that they're not really, they're a different species. They're not actually a seemanni. So for now, they're all called seemannis. But there's also a gray gunsmoke colored one that's a little bit smaller, that also comes from Guatemala and Honduras. You can tell because it's really gray. And I seen a picture of one today. One of the I think he's a subscriber of mine. He showed a picture of one on my post on Midwest Fang Gang, I think it was. And his is grayer, and the striations are very, very clouded. You can't see them very well. So right now, what I'm understanding is what people are calling the blue color form, or the Aphonopelma seemanni species Guatemala, may have that bluish tint, but it's more prominent with lighting and right after a molt. You can see this one's got a blue tint, and this is an Aphonopelma seemanni. I would imagine as this one ages, it's going to darken out and be blackish. And then as they go through their molt cycle, they get very brown and dingy. My other male, the bigger male, was the same way. For a long time it was brown, just a brown spider. You still saw striations, but it just kind of, it browned out big time. So you have the ones from Costa Rica, which would be the Aphonopelma seemanni, are found in Costa Rica. And I think that's the only place that the darker ones are found, which are the ones what we would call black, or the darkest ones. The Aphonopelma species Guatemala, which we're not exactly sure if that's a seemanni or not yet. The consensus is no. Those are found in the southern part of Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Honduras, and Guatemala, of course. And then the gray ones seem to be Guatemala and Honduras, in that area. So what I read, what I understand, is that there are probably 3 different species of an Aphonopelma that just haven't been classified, or they just assumed that they were seemanni because they resemble each other very closely. Now, if you take this guy and you take a Guatemala and you stick them next to each other at the same size, you would be able to see the difference. Now, again, that little straight line there on that leg of the tarsa would be like a swoosh, almost like the swoosh on like a Psalmopoeus erminia or a Psalmopoeus cambridgei. It's that wavy little striation mark. So that would tell you that most likely the spider that you have was from the Guatemala area. So I hope that that clears things up a little bit. Again, it's not 100%, but it has. I got the information on Arachnoboards, and it's information dating back to 2015, so it's been ongoing for a while. And apparently, like a lot of the European imports prior to 2007, they really think that we're basically, I think, if I'm right now, I got to remember if it was from before 2007, was the ones from Costa Rica, and then after 2007, they think would be more Guatemala or vice versa, one or the other. I can't be sure now because I read so much stuff today, I can't remember. But yeah, those are the that's my understanding on the differences of the seemannis, quote unquote, or the species. So, well, everything's housed and ready to go. We still have a few more things that need to get rehoused, and I got a ton of stuff to feed. I just don't have the energy to do it right now. So that's pretty sad, isn't it? And I need to do a gut load of the other roaches too. So they're going to get fed tonight with celery stalks, and they're probably going to get some a dish of dry cat food. And then they'll be ready to feed off tomorrow, Thursday. Probably not tomorrow because we have Eric's cross-country banquet tomorrow. And by the way, he finished 16th in the state out of 240 runners. 2 places better than last year and 11 seconds off his time. So he did well. I think he was happy with what he did. I mean, I don't know how you can be upset when you run faster than you did the year before. So look forward to his senior year, and we're still trying to figure out, but if he does qualify for states next year, he may have been the first person at his high school to qualify for states all 4 years on the cross-country team. So that's going to be kind of cool, and I would expect him fully to qualify, barring an injury during the season sometime. So yeah, and my daughter, she made a public service announcement video. It was through a contest sponsored by Erie Insurance, on the dangers of a distracted driver, and she won first place for the video out of 13 states and won a check for $1,000. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was a good week for us here. You know, as a family, we had a lot of fun. Got to go to Hershey again, and kids are doing great, doing good things, and spiders are coming along. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll do some more updates here soon, and I'm gonna get a feeding video in. So have a great day, have a great weekend. If I don't see you before the end of the week, talk to you later.